that we below, waiting happily.
Get ready for a night of excitement and innovation. The final episode of the Small Business Development Center's pitch competition is coming your way Monday, August 19th at 8 p.m. on ZNS TV 13. So who will claim the top spot? Will it be Team Electric, Team Lightbulb, Team Microchip, Team Quantum, Team Engine, or Team Explorer? Tune in to see which team emerges as the winner in this thrilling showdown of young innovators. Don't miss out. Mark your calendars for August 19th at 8 p.m.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, CIBC Caribbean raising fees. A financial expert explains why hikes are necessary. Plus, a body found in East Grand, Bahama. An investigation is underway. And friends and colleagues honor the life of the longest-serving magistrate in the Northern Bahamas. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. Thank you so much for tuning in. CIBC Caribbean has announced upcoming fee increases for personal business and corporate banking clients set to take effect on September 1st. Personal banking clients will see the steepest rise, with monthly service fees increasing by 40%. While business and corporate clients will face 25% and 20% hikes, respectively. Well, tonight, a financial expert is defending bank increases, explaining why they are necessary.
The banks represent the people because the banks are only made up of shareholders, depositors, borrowers, and employees.
Financial expert Gowan Bowe is defending the recent fee increases by banks in the Bahamas, a move that has sparked concern among many consumers. Bowe's comments comes after CIBC Bahamas Managing Director Dr. Jacqui Band announced that starting September 1st, 2024, the bank will implement higher fees on both personal and corporate banking accounts.
If the bank does not earn revenue, the bank has expenditure that is going out, zero revenue, the bank quickly is making a loss. If the shareholders lose all of their money, who is next to lose? The depositors. So very Bahamians who may be criticizing the bank fees, if the bank said to you that we won't charge fees, but instead of when you give us $100, we give you 99 back because we incur a loss, certainly would be an outcry and an uproar in regards to that. If the bank no longer exists, those borrowers who are looking for the pooling of resources by shareholders and depositors to lend them money would not have the ability to borrow, and the employees would have no jobs.
CIBC's monthly maintenance fee for personal banking accounts will rise from $2.75 to $3.85, and for corporate accounts from $19.80 to $21. Withdrawal fees from personal banking accounts will increase to $3.30, while business and corporate checking account withdrawal fees will see a rise to $2.20. Additionally, monthly deposit fees on personal accounts will go up to $3.30, with business and corporate checking accounts also seeing hikes. And while acknowledging the challenge of raising fees during a period of inflation, the financial expert notes that each bank has a different fee structure, giving consumers the choice to select the institution that best meets their financial needs.
The bank in the middle is having to pay higher electricity costs, having to pay higher costs relative to its goods and services that it needs, and in reality is having to equitably compensate its employees given the value of services being provided. And reality is we as consumers have the ability to make choices, and we need to exercise that choice ability, and businesses, if they want to survive, will have to adjust to it.
Meanwhile, clients of CIBC Caribbean are expressing views with the bank's decision to implement increased fees starting September 1st. Our Matthew Martinborough has their reaction in this report.
Officials from CIBC First Caribbean Bank revealing to the public that business, corporate, and personal banking clients will experience a service fee increase as of September 1st. However, clients of the bank are having mixed reactions to this notice.
These people are heartless. In my opinion, right now is not the time to raise nothing on nobody.
Officials say the greatest increases are in the monthly service fees, which will rise by 40% for personal banking clients and 25% for business and corporate clients respectively.
When you times that by 12, that's an annual, somewhere around what, under $15?
Right.
Not much of an impact. Not for me personally. I kind of understand how banks function, and then they need to make a profit, and they have a staff to pay and all that. So I kind of understand that. But I hope they don't throw another one on the way.
The bank's revised fee schedule showed monthly service fees will increase from $2.75 to $3.85 for personal banking clients, while corporate and business clients will see a $3.30 increase from $13.20 to $16.50 and $16.50 to $19.80 respectively.
I mean, the amount seems pretty small, but when you look at it, it's like $1 every month for 12 months, so that'll be like $12. And all depends on how much you deposit. I think it would have a great effect on me personally, because I don't do much deposit, and I do have a savings account here, so yes, it is.
Despite the incoming increases, customers like Peggy Cambridge says there's more in her life to be concerned with and worth stressing about.
Right now, I can't hide my head about small things right now. You know what I mean? Because the toilet 20 or whatever it is like that, I ain't gonna let it trouble in my head. I just had a stroke, so I get other things to think about. Thank God for life and all that.
The notice is available to the public through CIBC's official website at cibcfcib.com. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Matthew Martinborough.
Thank you, Matthew. Well, the search continues for 17-year-old Adelia Parjan of Seagrape 8 Mile Rock, who was reported missing on Thursday, August 8th. According to police reports, Parjan is 5 feet, 8 inches tall, weighs 170 pounds, and has dark brown eyes, a dark brown complexion, and medium-length hair. She was last seen at her home in Seagrape 8 Mile Rock. Superintendent Stephen Roll has the latest update.
Missing or reported missing. At this point, she has not been located as yet. However, the police are conducting an extensive search and investigation into her whereabouts and are pleading to the public who may see this young lady about through Grand Bahama to please make contact with your nearest police station or CID at 350-3106, or of course 911 or 919.
Now again, if you spot Parjan, you are asked to contact police immediately. Switching gears now, the Northern judicial system is in mourning following the passing of the region's longest-serving magistrate. The esteemed judicial officer, who also served as deputy chief magistrate in the 8 Mile Rock Division, passed away peacefully in her home on Monday, August 12, 2024. Colleagues, including 3 who worked closely alongside her, are reflecting on her life and her legacy, recognizing the indelible mark she has left on the courts. Jolanda Thompson-Everest has the story.
Stern, punctual, and kind-hearted. That is how Deputy Chief Magistrate Debbie Ferguson was described. On Monday, August 12, Ferguson passed away at her home as she was getting ready for work. Her colleagues and senior magistrates reflecting on her dedication and commitment in the judicial system and her relentless spirit in court number 1, where she served the people that stood before her.
She's definitely known to be a no-nonsense person. But also to a person with a heart and humorous, but stern.
Was been a deputy chief magistrate, so I've always had that level of respect for her. She's always easy, someone who I can call on, easy to speak to, always willing to give advice, and she'd be definitely missed around here.
She trained me as a magistrate, albeit I believe it was only for a week that they allowed her to train me. But I sat on the bench with her in her court downstairs. She was able to show me the ropes as it is. She always had a listening ear, kind ear. I could call her for anything.
Magistrate Debbie Ferguson started in the Attorney General's office, working in prosecution, only to later transfer out to the Magistrates Court, while highlighting her incredible impact to the community and the fierce way she handled her courtroom. They say her mothering love for those she served will never be forgotten.
She showed dedication to the office of the judiciary, even when sickness or anything like that plagued her. She showed her dedication. She was the longest serving magistrate here, I think currently in the office of the judiciary. She died in service.
She's very thorough, and she's very always on time, timely person, so there were some good traits about her that I kind of enjoyed and find that I could probably use going forward.
She's had her challenges, and through her challenges, one thing you can say, she was always resolved as best she could to come into work. And many cases, you perhaps say it might perhaps been best for her to stay home, but she soldiered on.
Her colleagues counting it all joy to have worked alongside the Chief Magistrate and say that her memory will live on their hearts forever.
She's been practicing as a magistrate here for at least around 20 years, starting out in the 8 Mile Rock Court and coming up to Freeport. And so she has a dual role, magistrate and deputy coroner. And so she's have a lifelong commitment to service in the criminal justice system.
Everyone, when they heard that name, Magistrate Ferguson, it invoked reverence for the title of magistrate. And, she will be greatly missed.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to the loved ones of the late magistrate, Debbie Ferguson. Well, in more sad news, the search for a missing fisherman ended tragically this morning. Police on Grand Bahama confirming that his body was found near the shoreline on the eastern end of the island. Reports indicate that the fisherman, who was a resident of the Lewis Yard community, became separated from his relative during a fishing trip along Gold Rock Creek as conditions worsened. Raven Davis picks up the story from here.
This search for a man in his 60s, which family members had hoped would end differently, concluding tragically today, as early this morning, police recovered the body of a deceased adult male. Now, authorities reported that around 4 p.m. on Tuesday, August 13, they were alerted to the disappearance of a man in his late 60s in the Freetown area, prompting an extensive search operation.
The police, along with concerned citizens, immediately launched a search team in search of the missing man. However, during that time, he was not located. The following morning, around 7 a.m., the police, along with the residents of the Freetown area, other concerned family members, conducted a secondary search where the lifeless body of the adult male was recovered on the waterline in the Freetown area.
Preliminary police reports indicate that two male relatives went fishing along Gold Rock Creek. They separated at 7 a.m. with plans to meet again by 9:30 a.m., but rising tides and worsening conditions led to only one man returning. A doctor was called to the scene and pronounced the man dead.
Police want to note that there were no physical trauma to the body. However, an autopsy will have to be done to determine the exact cause of death.
Police are now urging the public to exercise caution and prioritize safety in these areas.
Police want to advise the public, if they tend to go in those areas, please do not go alone to avoid these type of incidents from occurring again. What I want to say to the residents of the Freetown area and all those who assisted in the search of the missing man, that the ACP of the Grand Bahama District want to express thanks and gratitude for their assistance in this matter.
Now, unconfirmed reports suggest the man may be Patrick Bevins. Police have stated that they are actively investigating this latest incident. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Thank you for that, Raven. While the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition returns after this break. Don't go anywhere.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this one, sis.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I still want to put shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
And I still want to put shoes on your feet.
We still want to put shoes on your feet.
2 locations to put shoes on your feet. Downtown Freeport, and now our newest location in the Carmichael City Shopping Plaza, right behind the Walk-Up Wendy's, Carmichael Road West.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization. So if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Bahamian musician Kirkland Bodie, also known as KB, issuing an open letter to artists, brands, promoters, and talent buyers across the nation addressing widespread unauthorized use of his music. In this report, he stresses the importance of respecting intellectual property rights. Shirley Roll has more.
feel like I just been licking my head. My belly so big I going dead.
Kirkland KB Bodie, a well-known Bahamian artist, says he has had enough of artists using his songs from his catalog without his permission.
I should be compensated for my sacrifice.
Over the years, KB's music has been performed by many Bahamian artists, particularly at cultural events.
You have shows, entertainers performing like my material, like say to a Gombe, to a crab fest, even to a political rally. You know, you're there doing my material when I could be on that stage doing my material. And so it doesn't seem fair. I get nothing out of it, but yet the other entertainers or those who songs is not, they're getting the benefit.
Earlier this year, the government enacted a law to protect artists. The intellectual property right law controls persons from stealing content or any trademarked item. In a social media post, Bodie highlights his appreciation to the government for passing this copyright law and notes that the use of his work by artists over the years without his consent is disheartening.
You're using without asking me. That's abusing it. So if you're making money off it and I'm not making any money, that's abusing my content as you're infringing on my copyright.
Now, here's the procedure one must follow when considering using work from someone's catalog.
You have to call the artist or call the record company, or that's what you have to do now to find out who wrote the song. Can we work with an agreement that how we can use your material?
Bodie says that this will give Bahamian artists a chance to tap into creativity by creating their own music. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Rule.
Well, Lighthouse International Ministries are continuing their regular endeavor of giving back in the best way possible under the theme Changing Your Course. The ministry will be hosting their annual Youth Crusade and Back to School giveaway starting August 14th through August 16th. Co-pastor Chantel Evans says the purpose of resuming the movement year after year is to cater to those in needs of today's youth.
Because the event is designed not only to cater to the physical needs of our students returning to school, but as well as their spiritual and mental needs. On Friday night, we'll be moving the event outdoor in the parking lot where we'll be giving away over 500 fully loaded backpacks. At that time, we're going to have presentation about gang violence and presentation about fostering strong parent-teacher relationship. Because as you know, it is important not only for a child to begin the school year on time, but to also begin with the tools that they need to equip them, as well as some conflict resolution skills that will help them to maneuver throughout the school year. And that's why we took those particular two topics to address.
15th year of the campaign, Evans notes she's very grateful for initiating such a cause alongside her husband and co-pastor Peter Evans, as well as acknowledging the humble beginnings of it all.
We started small, but you know, humble beginnings has blossomed into a way where the community not only looks forward to the event, but they depend on it to get their children ready for school. And it's our pleasure serving our community. That's what it's about. It's about serving our community, being there for our community, being the hand of God extended to those in our community who find it most challenging at this time to prepare their children for back to school.
And that's a look at news. Jay, what's happening in sports?
Well, Aja, coming up in sports, the Goodwill Swimming Championships kicks off in 2 days in St. Lucia. Don't go away. Sports is next, right after this break.
Spend your weekend at Gombe Land. They're open 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Follow them on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. WhatsApp 816-3314 for more information. Diary of a Pastor's Wife, authored by Lady Eleanor Williams, is a go-to book that epitomizes a leading lady to your assigned congregation. A book of virtue, strength, and dignity, and all the spices on what it takes to be a seasoned-led lady. This bestseller can be found at Logos Bookstore, Arbor Bay, Bible Bookstore, Palmdale Shopping Center, Book World, Marquis Street in Nassau, and in Freeport, Bellevue Bookstore, H&L School Supplies in Bethel's Bookstore, and in Marsh Harbor at Fruit of the Vine, and also on Amazon. For more information, call 1-242-443-3227 or at www.eleanorlwilliams.com.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Here are some tips for having your home ready for a hurricane. Keep all trees and shrubs trimmed. Bring in all outdoor furniture, plants, or any other items that may become airborne due to high winds. Cover windows and doors with hurricane shutters or pre-cut plywood. Clear drains and gutters. And remember to secure important documentation in case you have to evacuate. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to sports. Once again, we have a whole lot of sports for you with softball, but let's begin with swimming. The Goodwill Swimming Championships begins this weekend in St. Lucia. Coach Ashton has some major expectations from the athletes that will be competing from Grand Bahama.
They look pretty good. I mean, nationals we did well, and I think they're going to do pretty well at Goodwill as well. The fine details are like underwaters, good turns, good starts, and hopefully it sticks. I think it will, and once they do what they have to do, it's going to be good.
Next in sports, the Grand Bahama Softball League is up and running at the softball park. Here's President Stefano Bevins.
Fast pitch will play Friday coming, where it'll start off at 7 p.m. with the ladies opening up, and followed with the men team at 8:30. So far, what we're trying to do now is we're going to start a development youth program where the island is in need of pitchers. So in order for us to have fast pitch continue to go, we have now looked into going into the schools and seeing if we could develop some of the younger players, trying to get the sport back up and going where we have pitchers.
Pat's Uniform Reds softball team has been red hot for the most part of the season.
We have three teams. We have the Patch Uniform All Men, Patch Uniform Co-Ed, and Patch Uniform All Ladies. Right now we're doing pretty good. I feel we could be doing a little bit better, but middle of the season, we can't really complain about how we're doing. There's a lot more parity in the league, I see. So kind of in the middle of the league right now, but as the season comes down to a close, I feel we'll start to catch our groove and start to make our way to the top.
Ladies and gents, that is your quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Thanks, Jay. It's now time for a look at the local weather forecast.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Touch Productions presents the 20th anniversary Say 99 stand-up comedy live featuring David Wallace.
And then there was this lady in church for 4 hours. She was speaking in tongues. All she was hollering out was the Hyundai Mataya. They found her after church, and she drove a Hyundai, and she had a flat tire on it.
It's all hosted by Will Stubbs. It all goes down Friday, August 16th. Showtime at 8 p.m. Tickets VIP $35, general $30. And on Saturday, August 17th, showtime at 8 p.m. Tickets VIP $25, general $20. It's all going down at Tano Beach at Pirates Cove. Ticket location, Island Yogurt, 17 Shop, Pirates Cove, Frank's Ice Cream. For group rates, contact 727-4282. Again, that's 727-4282. Part proceeds to aid Quentin Roll Medical. So don't miss the 20th anniversary of Say 99 stand-up comedy live.
We all need to save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Larica Russell, you are our Facebook friend of the day. Happy 11th birthday going out to you. Hope you and your entire family enjoyed. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Azure Quant. Thank you for watching, but stay tuned. The National Report is up next.
During the calm before the storm. Life-threatening storm surge and winds in the northwestern Bahamas.
2019, Freeport Grand Bahama, praying for the best.
And in the wake of the devastation. We've hosted countless shows. We've interviewed numerous individuals. We've covered every angle and shared everyone's stories.
The whole roof came off.
Now, 5 years after Hurricane Dorian, we are telling our story.
We need to move now. Let's go now.
You can see we make it out of the hurricane.
I wasn't imagining this.
I was scared. I didn't know if I was scared or coming and crying.
This was a storm like no other.
Join us for a Hurricane Dorian special as we take you into the eye of the newsroom. See what we endured behind the scenes during our relentless 72-hour live coverage from before and after the deadliest storm in our nation's history.
Outside is actually flooded.
This is more than a documentary. It's our journey, a testament to our dedication and our commitment to you. Airing September 1st on the only station that kept you informed during the worst storm in the history of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is the eye of the newsroom.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a new global health emergency. Why 66-year-old viral disease monkeypox has health experts seriously concerned. Local commercial banks scolded. Find out why one cabinet minister is urging customers to join in and speak out. Plus, back-to-school jitters. A local psychologist shares mental health tips for parents. And in sports, Jazz Chisholm headed to the injured list. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening,
everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. The Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association making the rounds, educating the public on the impact of medicinal marijuana, be it beneficial or adverse. And this now that both houses of Parliament have passed the critical piece of legislation. LaDawn Davis tells us more in tonight's top story.
President of the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association, Dr. Marvin Smith, spoke candidly about the implementation of cannabis in the Bahamas to Rotarians today, who questioned whether or not there's ever been any casualties as a result of taking cannabis here in the country. Dr. Smith had this to say.
We have seen and know of many cases of persons who would have OD'd on marijuana.
The largest largest trauma center in the Southeast United States, Grady Memorial Hospital, we've seen cases of fatal marijuana toxicity. Okay? All right, because remember that people don't take stuff in isolation. All right? And everybody reacts to things differently. We have CBD receptors in our body. And so there's a difference there. All right? And then you have to ask, what are they actually smoking? Because you have synthetic marijuana, you have hybrids, you have things that are created to make what should be a regular potency 40 and 50 times more potent.
Dr. Smith outlined the association's stance in the debate and outlined some of the key components they've agitated for.
The position for us as pharmacists has always been that we can only speak to cannabis as a medicine if we believe it to be so. Once we believe that it's a medicine, the issue of recreational use is out the door. We can no sooner talk about medical cannabis cannabis in a recreational sense any more than we could Percocet or Vicodin or morphine. If we believe it to be a medicine. We did not believe that anybody other than a pharmacist should be ultimately in control of dispensing medical cannabis. We will have cannabis dispensers who will have to be overseen by pharmacists. Those dispensers at a minimum to qualify to be trained as a dispenser. At minimum, you have to be a pharmacy technician, a certified pharmacy technician.
Now, Dr. Smith says he's hoping that an authority be established to regulate cannabis across the country pretty soon. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
Well, we cross over now to news from the courts where a judge granted emergency bail of $20,000 to a female corrections officer accused of conspiring to murder. Supreme Court Judge Neil Brathwaite heard the bail application Tuesday after the accused, Shantae Taylor, was remanded to prison a day earlier. Taylor was granted emergency bail as she reportedly has anemia. The 21-year-old is accused of conspiring to kill Alvaro Thompson, who was fatally shot in front of Taylor's Pinecrest Drive home. She returns to court January 30th for voluntary bill of indictment papers. 4 men were also charged in connection with Thompson's murder. Well, tonight, wife of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis, is speaking out about her husband's recovery following a recent medical procedure in the United States. As reported yesterday, the Prime Minister has been ordered by his doctors to rest a bit more.
He wasn't, and that's why he was ordered to cut his hours by the doctor. He's a workaholic. You know, once he starts to work and he gets on the job, he doesn't know when to stop. So he overdid it a bit, and the doctor said that he has to cut his hours down for another 2 weeks or so.
Mrs. Davis says there's no need to worry, stressing that despite the Prime Minister's recent procedure and the slight discomfort he feels, he's expected to make a full recovery. She says keeping him stationary, though, is no easy task.
It is difficult for him, and so that's why he still brings some files at home so he can go through his work. You know, he still has work to do, and he does as much as he can at home. Yeah, but he's good. He's good other than that.
In other news, consumers may not be the only ones fed up with rising fees and changing policies from local commercial banks. CIBC First Caribbean, the latest to announce a hike in fees for personal, business and corporate customers set to take effect September 1st. And one senior cabinet minister is not at all happy about it. Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, scolding these institutions for their treatment of customers. In fact, he's urging consumers to speak out and even called on the central bank to step in and be more active as the country's sole regulator. Mr. Mitchell suggests decisions are being made without thought being given to how these actions will impact consumers.
I think consumers ought to complain to the central bank about this. In our own caucuses, I've said that legislation needs to be passed to deal with things like Bahamian content, access to Bahamians, access to a voice on the telephone, making sure that people have cash. A couple of weeks ago, the whole system collapsed. People keep talking about cashless, cashless, cashless. It's clear that cashless is not the way to go. Those who want to be cashless can do so, but we ought to be able to pay with cash if we want to.
The World Health Organization today declaring the ongoing monkeypox outbreak in Africa a public health emergency of international concern. The WHO holding an emergency meeting to discuss the disease following concerns of a deadlier strain of the virus reaching 4 previously unaffected provinces in Africa. The strain, according to officials, had previously been contained in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The organization says a public health emergency of international concern is the highest level of alarm under international health law. Symptoms include skin rashes or lesions, a fever, headache, backache, swollen lymph nodes, chills, and exhaustion lasting between 2 to 4 weeks. At last report, the Bahamas had only 1 case of Mpox back in June 2023. Well, still to come, the Teachers Union on school repairs. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
At Commonwealth Bank, we offer affordable and flexible choices to get you back to financial fitness. Our personalized debt consolidation solution is built to fit any financial situation. One easy-to-handle monthly payment reduces your monthly expenses and gets you back on track to savings. Life is great when you're not weighed down by debt. Consolidate and live your best life with Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking services.
Everybody on fried chicken, we a free bucket for the crow. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Crispy original when we online. Bucket together under the new dance craze. Taste the explosion bursting with flavor.
KFC summer bucket deals: 8 pieces of fried chicken and 4 biscuits for $20. Add family fries, a 2-liter switcher, and 4 pineapple biscuits to your mega summer bucket for $30. It's finger licking good.
These modern day children, they always on these tablets. When I was growing up, we played pocket or go to the arcade.
The way children play has changed, but immunization is always in style. Vaccinations still protect children from infectious diseases. Make sure they get all doses of their polio, measles, pertussis, diphtheria, hepatitis B, and rubella vaccines.
A message from PAHO WHO, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Canadian Government, the Caribbean Development Bank, and USAID.
Bam! I got him! Cinema classic, y'all.
Girl, you see him? You see him? Oh, that's my dream man right there.
Listen, the only man I just dream about is Percy. Him and his pension plan just keep me smiling in my sleep. That's right. Percy get a pension plan where you could win up to $1,000 a week for a year.
Can you lie?
No, ma'am. Every time you deposit $20 on your verified Island Game account during July and August, you automatically enter to win one of 13 pensions. God, Percy is my dream man. Look at that. Look at that. Woo-hoo.
Did somebody say Percy?
Working on your account and ride the easy train at Percy's Island Game.
Back into school.
It's getting hot in Marco's, and we're bringing the heat straight to your doorstep. We're giving you a fiery food experience like never before. For a limited time only, try our new sizzling fiery flavors featuring Reaper cheese on our fiery pozzolis, pizzas, cheesy bread, and pizza bowls. Can you handle it? Taste the heat and order one now at marcospizzabahamas.com.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
When it comes to empowering female entrepreneurs, the Small Business Development Center is putting its money where its mouth is. Today, more than 80 women-owned businesses were awarded grants as a part of the center's ongoing push to help women thrive in business. Corval Pyfrom has more.
The Women Entrepreneur Initiative, undertaken by the Small Business Development Center at its creation, was designed to help women overcome the challenges of accessing capital and feeling respected as business owners. In its first year, more than 1,100 women-owned businesses have been able to access nearly $30 million in grant approvals. Today, even more to celebrate, as 83 additional women became grant recipients.
All of today's awardees are first-time grant recipients. The number of funded businesses owned by women has now officially increased from 1,139 to 1,222. As well, $29.8 million in approvals has jumped to $30.4 million in approvals for women-owned businesses.
But Phyllis Bethel, the SBDC's Deputy Executive Director, says the Women's Entrepreneur Initiative goes far beyond the $600,000 in funds it awarded today to women all over the country.
More importantly, this initiative is about creating a vibrant and supportive ecosystem where women are encouraged to innovate, collaborate, and grow together.
These recipients feel what they've learned through the program is invaluable.
I would say if you have an idea, if you are passionate about it, if you are good at it, just go for it.
I'm very, very happy to have been awarded some grant funding for my gallery. There are not many galleries in the Bahamas, and certainly not many owned by women. So I'm happy to be the only woman-owned gallery in the Bahamas.
The process that the SBD set up has been absolutely excellent. The course that we actually had to go through was very thorough.
And wife of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis, on hand to offer congratulations to the recipients as well as praises for the SBDC.
I was so happy to see them expanding their grant program even further to include many more entrepreneurs, mostly women.
The SBDC marking yet another milestone as it works to empower more women entrepreneurs. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson not satisfied with the timing of this year's public school repairs here in the capital, as she feels the process began too late. In a social media voice note today, the union executive also accuses Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, of reportedly not sharing details of the school repair program and scope of work with the union, despite writing and inquiring to the ministry about it. The BUT president claimed Family Island school repairs are also at a standstill.
The children of Ragged Island have not had a school building for years. They're on virtual learning. Holmes Rock Junior High in Grand Bahama, Low Sound Primary in North Andros, Staniel Key Comprehensive School in Exuma. Millions of dollars have been spent on these schools, that are still incomplete after about 7, 8, or 9 years. We are disappointed that Harbor Island Comprehensive School works will just be starting. Repair works will just be starting on that school.
Well, Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, the Honourable Glenys Hannah Martin, meantime says her ministry is focused on the many tasks at hand and trusts that they are, through the considerable efforts of the ministry, administrators, teachers, students and their parents, able to secure qualitative advances for the nation's educational system. She concluded her response that this is their singular goal and objective, and one which they will not compromise. The Education Minister thanks the Bahamas Union of Teachers president, though, for her valuable input in this effort. We're open for business. The message from the Baptist Authority of Education, whose leaders say they've seen a drastic decline in their student enrollment numbers over the years. Tonight, they're making an impassioned plea to the public to help get them back to their pre-pandemic numbers. Ianthea Ferguson reports.
In just a few weeks, school doors will swing open nationwide, welcoming thousands of eager students ready to get the 2024-2025 school year started. But according to Director of Recruitment, Counseling and Chaplaincy in the Baptist Authority of Education, Reverend Dr. A. Shelton Higgs, the campuses of Jordan Prince William and Charles W. Saunders will see significantly smaller student populations. He says, as with many other businesses, the pandemic dealt a serious blow to their operations, and they're now on a mission to get these institutions back to their glory days.
We feel that we need to let the Bahamas know that the Baptist educational schools are open and back in business. And so the heritage that we have in terms of being good, productive institutions that produced some very interesting people in our community, important people in our communities.
Doctors, lawyers, accountants, they've all walked the halls of these Baptist schools, Reverend Higgs says, noting that these schools are traditionally known and praised for the students' national exam results, performance in athletics, and affordable tuition fees. Despite these high points to date, when schools open next month, Jordan Prince Williams, the flagship school, will see between 500 and 600 students, while C.W. Saunders, where he was once principal, will welcome around 350 to 400.
And I want to encourage the Baptist community. I want to encourage parents who were once our customers to please return back to the fold in terms of a place for your children or child to be taught. I mean, they'll find a difference. They'll see a difference in terms of what our educational pool, because we are now moving in a transformative way of education.
In an effort to boost enrollment, the Baptist Authority of Education is seeking to beef up its curriculum, placing more emphasis on agriculture, adding in a pool like the one here at Jordan Prince Williams, and ensuring that they're on the cutting edge of technology.
We will make sure that the Wi-Fi is present in every classroom. Students can have their laptops, their iPads, and everything in class as they are being taught. And so rather than the chalk and talk, you are going more into the technology.
And with less students, Higgs says it became increasingly harder to pay their teachers, resulting in mass resignations. He adds that the teachers who have stayed on board and new ones they've hired will be the focus of a massive training and retraining push as they seek to rebrand the face of Baptist education in the Bahamas. And if you're still school shopping, Higgs says registration is open for students at both institutions, from kindergarten to high school. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Ianthea Ferguson.
Well, the whole idea of back to school requires a whole lot of money. So when someone comes along willing to absorb that expense, why not accept it? As the case today for families in an inner city community. Our Diane Dorset has the story.
As the new school year fast approaches, the Fox Foundation is ensuring students are well prepared, and not just by way of school supplies, but with full stomachs and big dreams. Wednesday's back-to-school giveaway had something for everyone, from free-loaded backpacks to hot meals, hairstyling coupons, and medical vouchers. In its 9th year, the event held on the Lion Road Park in the Freetown constituency drew hundreds of families eager to have their little ones ready to learn and thrive.
We're also going to give away barbershop coupons to kids, and also hair braiders coupon to kids that the week before school or the day before school they can go and get their hair braided and hair cut. The Sports Center, we always speak about corporate sponsor. The Sports Center donated vouchers. We had Bay Street Medical Lab that donated medical checkup vouchers. Premier Dental, Sheffy's Deli donated food. Lucayans, like I say, it's a start.
3 deserving 6th grade students were also awarded scholarships, each valued at $40,000. The money will cover each child's high school tuition. Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, expressed gratitude to the foundation and emphasized the importance of community in society.
The generosity behind this effort, because it will create a paradigm shift for children who might not otherwise have had an opportunity, and for them I believe the best is yet to come. So the more people step up to the table, to the issue, the greater the impact will be, and the stronger the outcome will be. And so this is what we want. We said it takes a village. It takes a village, and the village is raring and roaring today in Camp Road area.
For Elena Ramming, a soon-to-be 7th grader at Queen's College, the scholarship is more than just a financial aid. It's a jumpstart to a brighter future. When asked her career goals,
my grandmother, right, she had a situation and then she had to go to surgery. And a neurologist was the doctor who helped her. And I feel like if I become a neurologist, I can make my grandmother proud.
Also turning out for the big giveaway was the area's MP, Wayne Monroe. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Diane Dorset.
Well, meantime, as thousands of students prepare to return to the classrooms, getting them all ready also usually translates into a layer of stress for parents whose mental health is oftentimes neglected in the process. It's with this in mind that the Bahamas Psychological Association's training coordinator, Dr. Deetra Bethel, offers this advice.
We so often see mothers who do not take care of themselves. So it's important for them to, when they build in their schedule, into their routine, building something into their routine that takes care of their needs as well. Even if it's an hour just after dinner for themselves, to do something for themselves, soak in the bathtub, read a good book, watch some TV, but build in some time for themselves as well. But that is certainly an individual thing.
A transitional period can significantly impact both parents and children with the hustle and bustle of school preparations, which Dr. Bethel says only highlights the importance of creating and maintaining a proper mental health routine.
I think what persons typically do when things happen, then they try to take care of themselves. That is not, in terms of from a mental health perspective, that is not what we do for self-care. What we do for self-care is we practice. So it's an intentional practicing.
Well, this week's episode of WealthWise, brought to you by Leno Corporate Services, is especially for parents who often need some assistance shaping their children's future attitudes, particularly when it comes to money. Here with more is Amajal Knowles.
As a parent, one of the most important things you have to do is introduce your child to financial literacy and instill good money habits that will last a lifetime. But how do you start and when? Here is Sherelle Woodside-Conliffe, Manager of Business Development and Client Relations at Leno Corporate Services, with some suggestions about how to begin your child's journey on the road to being wealth-wise.
So your first entry point when introducing your child to financial literacy is understanding the concept of coins and bills. Once they understand that, then the introduction of a piggy bank is your second step. I recently introduced my 3-year-old niece to a piggy bank system. So I bought her 3 piggy banks, and now she understands coins and notes. Of course, she places more emphasis on the notes because she sees them as more valuable. But once they understand that concept, I think we're on that road to financial literacy and teaching children between the ages of 3 to 5 the importance of financial literacy.
Now, what about a bank account for your child? What is important for a parent to remember, and when can that be introduced?
You have to exercise patience when you're opening a bank account. And I think children between the ages of 5 to 11 are at that point where a bank account can now be introduced.
What does having a bank account teach a child about financial literacy?
But it also teaches them the value of putting aside monies, how important it is to save a portion of everything that you are given, everything that you're gifted, and everything that you earn.
What are some other important concepts a child should be taught about financial literacy so that they can become wealth-wise adults?
Always live within your means. Never spend more than you receive. Always set aside a portion of your gifts, your monies that you would have earned from chores or side jobs or little, whatever it is that whatever income or whatever you do to earn an income, it's important to save and to do it regularly.
Tune in next Wednesday for more tips to make you wealth wise. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Well, we still have more news to come, but again, our Amajal Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports. Amo?
Coming up in sports, Jazz headed to the IL, and we catch up with the Bahamas' junior golf team. Details of those stories and more coming up in sports.
If you see news in the making, call ZNS News at 502-3800 or email us at znsnews@gmail.com.
Tourism today, Bahamas tourism today.
Over 200 heads and beds that's visitors from around the world congregated in paradise for a faith-filled experience at the Breezes Resort.
Let me say how pleased we always are to welcome visitors to our shores. This particular segment is very special to me because we actually are welcoming over 250 young persons. They're coming from all around the Caribbean. They're coming from the UK. And they have gathered in the Bahamas in an actual faith-based conference. We have 200 plus persons who are here. They're heavily engaged in social media. They're going to be using the hashtag that speak to the Bahamas. So they have come here, and we are adopting them as our youth ambassador. I think we sometimes underestimate the significance of faith-based tourism. Faith-based tourism and those who travel to faith-based events represents a significant amount of tourism business globally. The Bahamas is very well positioned. I call it as a center for religious tourism. Naturally embedded in our Constitution, we speak about subscription to Christian values. We have a large amount of churches. The Bahamas generally is a very religious-centric destination. If all of our churches were to encourage their brothers and sisters globally to come to the Bahamas, imagine what impact that would have on tourism performance. So I'm saying to persons, as we able to launch our tourism is everyone's business, I want our tourists to know that the responsibility entrusted to us as a country is not just to attract persons here because of the economics, but to live out our faith and to let persons know that it's better in the Bahamas, not just for traditional tourism, but it's certainly better also for faith-based tourism.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be extra.
What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you is?
I heard you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
Make this year your best year yet.
Education is the key to success, and the University of the West Indies Global Campus Bahamas is your partner in success. Take a course that increases your value in a matter of weeks, or get that degree you've been dreaming of with convenient online learning. Visit us at global.uwi.edu/Bahamas, call 323-6593, or WhatsApp 456-6687 today.
Blessings gonna find me here.
Over a decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long, yet the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
Life's twists, turns, and defining moments. RBC is a land for all of you.
Welcome to our SBDC Business Tips, where we share valuable insights with small business owners. From practical advice to actionable tips, we're here to support you on your journey to success. As a small business owner, it is crucial to define your market. Conduct market research to determine who your ideal customers are, their demographics, and their buying habits. Knowing who your customers are helps tailor your products and services to their needs. This information will help you to create a targeted marketing campaign and improves your chances of success. We hope you find these business tips helpful. To help your business reach its full potential, visit sbdcbahamas.com or give us a call at 242-461-SBDC.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
A larger road paving exercise for the Eastern Road temporarily halted, but General Manager at Bahamex, Ryan Ramming, says the intent is to resume once a utility company completes its work.
We have scheduled the Eastern Road for paving works beginning at Johnson Road, and that paving works will extend all the way to Prince Charles Drive. That has been suspended for a while based on some more utility works. Water and Sewage Corporation needs to go in there. We'll follow behind them directly. As soon as they're done, we will program our works and finish the paving. So far, we've paved up to Foxhill Road. So that's where our paving has ended for the Eastern Road.
Well, in just a matter of days, workers from the Ministry of Environment will be back on the streets, continuing a massive cleanup of New Providence. But as Environmental and Natural Resources Minister, the Honourable Vaughn Miller tells it, while the exercise has reaped tremendous success, there are lingering concerns.
The issue of derelict vehicles, it seemed as if we would go in areas, we would remove derelict vehicles. 2 weeks later, persons will call us that derelict vehicles are back in the areas. And so it's a challenge, and it's one that we're up to. It's on us. It's on us to deal with the matter. For example, derelict vehicles where they would replace the tags on them, giving them the allotted time to remove the vehicles, not complying. Also, in terms of, if we have a serious issue with roadside garages, and we get lots of calls about that. And again, we're going to be dealing with that.
Still to come, our featured story of the night, a fun night in Fox Hill. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
You or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Hey, Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while dealing with my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way?
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage a claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not newer. It's N-U-A. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
Save big at Super Value and Quality supermarkets. Kellogg's Giant Size cereals, assorted 24-ounce, $7.39. Carnation Evaporated Milk, 13.9 ounces, $1.49. Vitamalt Classic Tonic, 10.5 to 12 ounces, $1.19. Boneless pork chops or roast, $2.79 per pound. Whole chicken wings, $1.79 per pound. Case price, $53.99. August is an awesome month to save at Super Value and Quality supermarkets.
The Water and Sewage Corporation says it's seeking to remedy the issues Eleuthera residents have long faced, and it's doing so by pumping more than $190 million into capital works across the island. That's inclusive of work already done and still to be carried out. The corporation acknowledging in a statement this week's protest on Harbor Island residents, assuring that it's working with Bahamas Power and Light to ensure reliable power, which impacts water supply. WSC is also said to be working with desalination contractors to address the island's generators, as well as the possibility of independent power production for its major facilities. Further, intensive work is underway to increase water storage by replacing old storage tanks. A new deep supply well for the Bogue facility also to be drilled. Meantime, WSC officials setting the record straight on a social media video on its water supply in Joan Miller's South Eleuthera. They're verifying that water generated from its desalinated water system is supplied through its water tanks via tanker truck to John Miller's and Bannerman Town. WSC emphasizing that no water is obtained from any nearby catchment pits which may be on site. The corporation encourages persons to seek facts first before sharing misleading and incorrect information to the public. Well, it's now time for our check on Family Island weather, and for that, as always, We turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. We're still monitoring Nesco. It's now some 180 miles to the east of Grand Turks, moving northwest at a good clip. All the details coming up later in the newscast, so do stay tuned. But right now, we have near clear skies, just a few clouds, temperature 86 degrees, relative humidity 65%. The winds are out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,014.3 millibars. That is 29.95 inches. And your temperatures around the islands this evening, 86 degrees in Marsh, Abaco, Greentool, Key, and also in Freeport, Grand Bahama. The Berry Islands at 89 degrees, 85 in Alice Bimini, Harbour Island 89, Roxanne, Eleuthera 85 degrees, 85 also in Fresh Creek, Central Andros, Kemp's Bay, South Andros, Black Point, Exuma, Artistan, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Room Key, all at 86 degrees. Georgetown, Exuma, 86 degrees as well. And then we'll start picking up some 85s, starting with Ryegate Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, and Betsy Bay, Maguana. Ackland's at 85, Matthew Town, Inagua 84, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 84 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Live Business, where you're always protected during the worst storm. In the northwestern islands tonight through Thursday, those winds will remain light and variable with 1 to 3 foot seas. Low tide taking place at 10:36 tonight. A second low tide at 10:22 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern islands through Thursday, north to northwest winds 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And as we take into Friday, the winds remain light and variable in the northwestern islands. Low tide 11:21 in the morning with a high tide at 5:56 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern islands, the winds become more westerly at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
I've been chilling up by the bar last night. This gal, she was looking nice. She blew my mind right on the side. I started to order drinks, and I drink everything. She make me feel like a king. Now I went down, I asked to take her home. I said I live alone. She jumped in my ride and come with me. We wake and scrape the morning come. Fell asleep when I wake up. My hair, love, was already gone. My hair, love, where you been, gal? I've been looking for you. Looking for you. My hair, love.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, follow us at ZNS Digital on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or X. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit us on our website at znsbahamas.com.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
J.S. Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you could be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk a catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in the car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
We here at Candid Security offer a varied range of security services, including guard service, we do armored service, we do pre-employment investigation, background checks, also vet people for employment. A live business hosted PBX is extremely important to our operation. I don't have to be in my office. I can easily get connected with our clients, my vendors, my NASA office, and with our employees in the field, anytime, anywhere.
During the calm before the storm.
Life-threatening storm surge and winds in the northwestern Bahamas.
2019, report Grand Bahama. We're praying for the best.
And in the wake of the devastation. We've hosted countless shows. We've interviewed numerous individuals. We've covered every angle and shared everyone's stories.
The whole roof came off.
Now, 5 years after Hurricane Dorian, we are telling our story.
We need to move now. Let's go now. You can see we make it out of the hurricane.
I wasn't imagining this.
I was scared. I didn't know if I was staying or coming and crying.
This was a storm like no other.
Join us for a Hurricane Dorian special as we take you into the eye of the newsroom. See what we endured behind the scenes during our relentless 72-hour live coverage from before and after the deadliest storm in our nation's history.
Outside is actually flooded.
This is more than a documentary. It's our journey, a testament to our dedication and our commitment to you. Airing September 1st on the only station that kept you informed during the worst storm in the history of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is the eye of the newsroom.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your Wednesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports in baseball news, and what was a very promising start to his career in pinstripes has come to an unexpected halt. It has been revealed that Bahamian baseball superstar Jazz Chisholm Jr. is likely headed to the injured list with a UCL injury. Chisholm was hurt on a headfirst dive, scoring in the 5th inning of Monday's 12-2 loss to the Chicago White Sox. Chisholm was acquired by the New York Yankees from the Miami Marlins just ahead of the MLB trade deadline. And since joining his new club, he's at .316 with 5 homers and 11 ribbies. Here's Jazz's initial reaction to the injury.
When it happened, I think my adrenaline was still going. I was still on third base. Hit the ball. Baseball instinct told me, like, I was already standing on third base by the time he hit the ball, so just keep going. Went home. Slid in. My adrenaline was still going, so I didn't feel it right away. About an inning went by, or half an inning went by, just sitting there. Started to feel it a little bit. Went into Booney and to the trainers and told them that it's throbbing a little bit, and it's a little bit, I feel it a little bit, and they said, well, let's go get it checked out.
Still in baseball, hoping to join Jazz in the show in the very near future is Bahamian baseball prospect Sebastian Walcott, who skyrocketed in the latest Major League Baseball prospects ranking list. The 18-year-old shortstop, who is currently the #1 ranked prospect in the Texas Rangers organization, is now the 38th best in all of baseball, according to MLB.com, rising all the way from the 71st position. Last weekend, he joined Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jackson Churio as the only minor leaguers in the past 12 seasons to record 10 homers, 20 doubles, and 15 stolen bases in a full season as an 18-year-old. Walcott entering the week batting .250 with 44 walks in 90 games. In basketball news over the weekend, the Zenith Soul sports team had the opportunity to cover the Coco de Mama basketball camp over in Eleuthera. While we were there, we were able to catch up with Bahamian collegiate hooper Ramad Dean, who's entering his junior season at Fordham University in the A10 conference. We asked him about his expectations for the upcoming season.
I don't really have no personal expectations for myself because last season I played a lot of minutes than I played my freshman year. And my freshman year I didn't really play like that. So my freshman year we had a winning season, but last season we didn't. Even though I played a lot of minutes, I still didn't feel good because we had a losing season. So really I just trying to focus on like how to help my team win. That's my goal.
Now as for what he worked on over the summer.
A lot of things that I work on are trying to build my confidence, trying to get my ball handling together, where I get off like where I could be on the ball instead of like playing off the ball, which is as I can help my team, you know, achieve our goals, which is winning and playing in the championship game, winning the A10 conference.
And finally on the greens, a big performance for the Bahamas' junior golf team as they would end the Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championships over in Jamaica with a top 3 finish. The group has arrived safely back home, and our intern Swanson Gibson caught up with them in this report.
A few golfers settling in back home after participating in the Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championships. While in Jamaica, the 14-member team finished 3rd overall, with half the roster being first-time golfers. One of the 11 to 13 girls category, Anissa Robinson, discussed her experience and preparation.
Competing in Jamaica, since it was my first year, I didn't really know what to expect, but I feel like I put my best foot forward into going into this. I also practiced really hard, and it was a lot of competitiveness, and I also made a lot of new friends.
15 new girls runner-up Madison Carroll highlights the leap she made within the past year.
The achievement meant a lot to me because finishing second this year was actually a big accomplishment because last year I didn't finish at all. So this year, meaning that gave me a lot of opportunity, and I actually made some friends, and I learned a lot from this experience this year.
Captain Camden Forbes praises his team's performance.
It was amazing that we finished 3rd. It's been the Bahamas' best performance in over 5 years, and our goal was to get 2nd place. And we just finished behind Dominican Republic. Within the next 2 years, I think we'll be able to catch the reigning champions of Puerto Rico.
An impressive showing on the international stage. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Swanson Gibson Jr.
And that's been a look at your sports on this Wednesday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
8 months into the year, and the great savings continue at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounce, $2.15. Country Barn mayonnaise, 30 ounce, $3.69. Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs, 15 ounce, $1.69. Boneless chicken breast, $3.39 per pound. Panama raw shrimp, $31.40, 1 pound, $6.99. August is an awesome month to save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
For weather.
In our final look at what do we have, Hurricane Ernesto out there. It's about 180 miles to the east of Grand Turks, moving towards the northwest at a very good clip, 16 miles per hour, but we expect it to shift more towards the north by tomorrow, and that should keep it well away from the Bahamas. Nevertheless, we anticipate some very dangerous swells generated by the system to begin impacting the Turks and Caicos Islands and the southeast Bahamas tonight. That will gradually spread into the central Bahamas and the northwest Bahamas, in particularly the more eastern islands of the Bahamas, and that will continue right through Friday before it begins to let up on Saturday. So we're asking boaters to exercise extreme caution over the next several days. As a matter of fact, you should simply just stay in port once these dangerous swells begin. The Glasswind Bridge will be one of those systems that will be grossly impacted by the system, so that too you have to take into consideration. Now, as we go to our satellite picture, we can see we have a little frontal boundary to the north of us, and that too can trigger 1 or 2 showers in the extreme northwestern parts of the country, and that includes the Abacos, Grand Bahama, and Bimini as well. Elsewhere throughout the islands, we're going to have mostly sunny conditions with clear skies during the nighttime. And our forecast for tonight simply calls for clear skies, low temperature of 81 degrees, and tomorrow things will shape up like this, mostly sunny and simply hot with a high temperature of 90 degrees. The extended weather forecast will have beautiful weather taking us right into the weekend. Wouldn't be until about Monday of next week that we'll see some isolated thunderstorms working their way into the forecast, and that will increase as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday with some heavy cloud cover developing as well. But just before I signed off, my oldest son, Jamal Andrew Dean, celebrates a birthday today, so Daddy wants to know that you enjoy your day, and I'll join you a little later on.
Well, happy birthday to you, Jamal. Fox Hill Day closed out on a high note before we leave, with Fox Hillians turning out in droves to celebrate the country's oldest festival. Our Vaughn Aubrey has this recap.
Hundreds celebrated Fox Hill Day on the parade grounds Tuesday as the young, the old, and those in between took in the scenery, including 96-year-old Beverly Wallace Whitfield.
Last year, 2023, you were right here dancing in Fox Hill. Tonight, you're dancing in your chair here in Fox. How important is that to get out?
Well, you see, I come every year because it's the one date that I have. A young man always brings me here every year, my grandson.
And what does she enjoy about Fox Hill Day?
It's so natural. It reminds me of my era. It reminds me of what we used to do when I was a child. All this plaiting the maypole, and I don't know if they're shooting marbles anywhere, and that kind of life, you know. Spinning top and making boxcar out of your skate wheels and all that.
The Chinese ambassador, having just arrived, got a taste of the hospitality of the Bahamian people.
It's really a great honor and pleasure to be here because Fox Hill is one of the, community with the richest cultural heritage. And also this cultural festival has 190 years old. So it's really amazing. Of course, it's a very unique kind of a culture experience for me. And I found out I'm the new Chinese ambassador, and I found out that there are lots of similarities between China and the Bahamas. Like, we all love peace, and we all have profound cultural heritage.
Unique indeed, according to the Fox Hill Member of Parliament, Fred Mitchell.
The real thing, the real cultural deal, and we've got to make sure that the next generation continues to support this. So the government's position is that the money it takes to support this, we do. That's why we have the tradition with the churches. That's why we keep Emancipation Day Junkanoo. This is the center of African culture in August every year.
Though the parade ground was safe, Mitchell was asked about recent incidents of crime in Fox Hill.
This is a resilient community. I don't really think that disturbs this at all. This festival is quite well policed. Usually you're just talking about individual incidents. I don't think there's anything you can do to stop individuals from behaving improperly. What you just hope is a sense of community and belonging will keep everybody connected and keep the peace, and largely it does.
Jonah Link and his family from Arizona thoroughly enjoyed the Fox Hill Festival as well.
I don't know, if you live here, I don't know how you haven't come. Like, this is cool to know your history and then just how fun it is, you know? And it's just a good time, you know?
So many people are here at the Fox Hill Parade in a tradition that stretches back almost 200 years. And from the reaction of visitors, particularly those outside of the Bahamas, Fox Hill, you have a great thing. Keep it going. Reporting from the Bahamas tonight from the Fox Hill Parade, I am Vaughn Aubrey, ZNS Network News.
And that there does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better. Thank you for watching, and good night.